There we go, gang. All right, we are live. Welcome back. It's Monday. Of course, it's Monday. Conversations on Vitality. Ariel Jarvis, James Gardner. And if you're noticing, we are starting to add some people into our little conversation here to provide you, the people at home watching this, a little extra value as it relates to health, wellness, spirituality. And today, mindset. What's between the ears? So I am privileged here to welcome, on behalf of Ariel and myself, Tracy Lee to the conversation today. She is a kick butt women's empowerment coach, helping women overcome limiting beliefs. Tracy, welcome. How are you?
Oh, James and Ariel, thank you. I am fabulous. I am honored to be here today.
Excellent. Uh, Before we begin, Trace, why don't you just share with our community a little bit, just to give us an insight into the work you do with women, and a little bit about that.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you, James. Yeah, I've been mentoring and coaching women for 20 years now, but my true focus is very simple. It's about helping women get very clear on what it is that they want.
Hmm.
And then it's really about removing the obstacles in the way so they can get it.
Yeah,
And then they can start living their life with
yeah.
unstoppable purpose. Nothing else is going to keep them from doing what it is that they so truly desire. And
Well,
that's the
that's
basis
it.
of my work. Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. Clarity is the DNA of mastery. And Ariel, that is why you're having these kind of three-way conversations here, because it directly ties into the work you do. And so, why
Absolutely.
why mindset today, Ariel?
So, being a holistic practitioner, we look at everything all together, right? So, body, mind, spirit. And today we want to talk about the mind because as a practitioner, what I've seen with clients coming in, we talk about solutions to their problems, right? So, we talk about the four pillars of health: the water, the sleep, the diet, and the exercise and stress management. And sometimes we get the results we want, and sometimes we're not getting the full capacity of the results because what's going on up here hasn't changed.
Mm.
And so what I've noticed is you can't problem solve with the same mindset that got you in the problem with the first place. So for example, with emotional eating, or with patients that are anorexic or bulimia, or patients that are alcoholics, right? Or they have a substance abuse problem, or they have a food addiction problem, or they have a emotional issue, and so now their central nervous system isn't functioning properly, their digestion isn't functioning properly, or maybe their serotonin isn't being produced because of the chemical equation happening up here is affecting their sleep, so then their rest and recovery is being impacted, and so much so on. So that's why I wanted to bring both of you on board and introduce my audience to you guys, because James and Tracy, you guys are impacting so many people. James has written a book on this, and Tracy has helped thousands of people with mindset. And so I wanted to bring you guys on board so that we could really help people that are struggling be able to get the results that they want and have that ripple effect in their life.
Mm.
Mm-hmm. That's
I love that.
beautiful.
Tracy, since mindset is kind of your cornerstone of the work you do, what do you see as a cross section of what's getting in your client's way? Let's talk about
Yeah.
that.
Well, it's the paradigm, which is really, that voice in their head that, has been constructed based on their whole life experiences up to this point, their limiting beliefs, their inner child, the deep work, James, that most people just really don't get to. And sadly, if we don't get past that, sort of surface level work, we really never get to experience all these other amazing things that we might be working our buns off to do,
Mm.
the working out, the all the other work, and protocols that we are like, okay, yeah, this is going to make me feel better. But we got to do the deeper work. And until we do, those limiting beliefs, those paradigms, they really run our lives. They run how we set goals, make decisions. They run our habits. I mean, a paradigm
Mm.
is really a multitude of habits. And those habits,
Mhm.
if we don't start shifting them, nothing changes.
Mhm. And so therefore, that becomes the stumbling block for a lot of people, even in your world area with health and wellness, because you and I have talked about this, where you can lay out the plan, you can provide them a protocol of A through Z and do this, and you're going to be, riding off into the sunset. And yet they trip on their own shadow on the carpet because they can't create the mindset or the rewiring of habitual patterns to then up level this thing. And I think that's why, everyone talks mindset in terms of self growth and all of that, and it's true. And though people, it's not just about popping a pill. It's not.
Mhm.
Right. And that's why with you, Ariel, too, you get into some of that
Yeah.
behavioral stuff when you sit down with them and when you're constructing a plan to try your best to set them up for success.
And we even have a test that actually goes through some of the frequent thought patterns that people will have. We have a section of our galvanic skin response that does the emotion code. And so it will identify certain emotions, which are energy in motion, that are constantly being taken out of range. So it could be exhaustion, it could be anger, it could be suppressed rage, it could be fear, it could be anxiety, and they're not in a healthy range. And so they're creating a disturbance in the ecosystem of the body. And so when it comes to rehabilitation, we really need to take a look at the people that have the ability to put the strategies into words so that you can start implementing change so that you don't plateau. And we see this all the time as people plateau, they self-sabotage because it takes a village and there's no shame. And it's very important to ask for help, and it's very important to have multiple opinions and have multiple people in your pocket so that when you need to pull out that card, you have that card that will help you elevate that area that might be weakened in your life. And it's so amazing how everybody has their gifts, but we don't utilize them enough.
Yeah, I love that, Ariel. And I love first that you just said no shame. I think it's really important that anyone listening to this understands that everybody has stuff. And all the stuff you see out on social and everyone looking perfect in their lives, we all have stories. And those stories do impact how we live our lives, and you do have the ability within you with the right community and the support and the environment to actually make shifts on what that story is about. You can write your new narrative and you can start stepping into a new self-image of the person that you truly want to be. And everything is connected. When we work in our exercise, we're working with you, Ariel, and all the incredible things that you're doing for people, and you, James, when we all do this, we all have our own abilities to support people on getting the toxic stuff out of their bodies. And truly, that's what this is. Like, if you can release toxic energy, that's been suppressed for so many years that, you didn't know any better. When we can help release that, we can help you shift your perspective on situations in life and start to build that muscle. It's a muscle you build. Nothing happens overnight. And it's getting rid of that idea that things will just happen like that and having that expectation hangover. If we can help people walk the journey, actually enjoy the journey, the highs and lows, you never actually tie yourself to an outcome at the end. You're just enjoying watching yourself change and all of the people around you. It's the most beautiful gift we can give ourselves.
And one thing I might want to mention is that people don't realize that you can't do it alone. You do need to have you need to have fresh, perspective, because here's a little study. I always like to look into studies for psychology, and we on average have 76,000 thoughts a day in our subconscious, and those thoughts are triggered by our five senses. So a smell, a perfume that goes by can trigger you back to a past trauma or pain, or your other four senses. Like, it's insane how people can get triggered all day long. But with the help of a coach like you two, you actually learn how to become less sensitive to those triggers and identify them for what they are and put things into proper perspective so that it's not creating a negative impact on your overall day or your life.
Yeah. And I think too, where many people fall short and even in my client roster too, which similar to Tracy is mostly women clientele, is they have the motivation, but the motivation comes and goes. The rhythm of that wax and wane of uh, sticking to something is not consistent because it's not anchored in inspired action. And the difference is we talk mindset, and mindset is everything. And however, I truly, I'm a story guy, as you know. I mean, I just wrote a book, but besides that, brand building, business development, people are a business. People are a business brand to themselves. What is their story? People don't take the time to connect to the emotional anchors of why they want X. Why do they want to get better gut health to do this? Why do they want to overcome these negative thought patterns to have a better relationship or to excel in something? And I truly feel that the mindset work and the rewire happens in honing your skills once you get clear on the why. I mean, everyone talks about the why, right? And in personal goal setting and personal health and wellness, it's no different, because that's what fuels that inspired action. And inspired action keeps you in the game, keeps you taking those pills, keeps you getting up off the couch, keeps you showing up, regardless of the limiting beliefs that we maybe, or the self-negative talk. So I just wanted to throw that out there too.
Yeah, it's so true. And James, I remember listening to Mel Robbins talk, and this wasn't that long ago. So Mel Robbins, like what her success is incredible. And she said she literally woke up the other day and doubted everything she was doing.
Mm.
So if you can imagine, how you've got someone who, they have a desire to live a healthier life, to have a healthier body, to be on a better train of, really, really, truly taking care and nurturing themselves, impacting their families' lives. But like you said, like that without the proper environment to support you on the times when you're starting to go down, because we all do, you will go down. You do need this. I mean, you will. Like, listen, it's a daily. Thank God I have multiple coaches, because I know and I see the value, and I know I need the support in order for me. It becomes a journey that isn't about me anymore. It becomes a journey of my gifts are meant to do something for other people and to serve the world. So if I don't take care of my mindset and my body, then I'm not able to uphold and continue living that journey. So it almost becomes this very important thing that has nothing to really do about me. It has to do with everything else that I'm doing of service. So I must continue on that. And I always think, when you've got a community of people that are all wishing for the same common denominator to support a person in living their best life, and they all are working together in harmony, that's a beautiful, beautiful wheel to be in the middle of.
Mm-hmm. And I might want to say too, a lot of people think that, once they get to that peak, that they no longer need the help because they've done it all, right? They're at the top. And we see this all the time with like celebrities or, people that have, gotten to a certain level, and now they're like, I'm good, and then they end up crashing and crumbling because
Right.
you constantly need to match your frequency so that you can keep elevating, and you never really get to the finish line. And that's what you said earlier, is it is the roller coaster, and you have to appreciate the ups and the downs, and you need to have that support the whole way through, because you never really reach the end. And I think that that's a bit of a myth that people might think, is that when I get to this point or I reach this success, then I'll be happy, or then I'll be this, or but it's through the whole process, and learning to find happiness and joy just in the journey itself, and not having these expectations that, and you eventually become so disappointed, and then the spiraling starts to happen. You're not supposed to do that. So it's so good that you guys teach that.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's like I I'll be very transparent. I used to doubt that it would make a difference in working with a coach. And at the end of the day, I sat there and said, okay, well, how is that doubt working for me right now? Look at my results, and then ask myself, right? And that's really a hard question. Anyone, just ask yourself, look at your results in your life, look at the things that you have. And, what you are experiencing in life right now is your level of self-worth. So, they're working with you, they're doing the things, but are they being the person that is desiring to really truly call in and experience all those things? It's not always about the doing, it's about the being, right?
Sure.
Yeah,
Sure.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Ariel, you mentioned too, when you're talking about that kind of elevated, when we think we get there, you talk about homeostasis a lot in terms of the body. And self-growth and mindset work is the same. There has to be a new level of norm that takes a long time to stabilize. It's not
Mhm.
just we do the work and then, yeah, we feel great. It's like, yeah, we do the work and then maybe we're at this next step in our expansion, and we may be at that next step for a year of kind of that ebb and flow, and then we climb up, and so there's always an assimilation time to establish the new norm. And we see that when our body resets, we see that with 90-day protocols for a lot of things, because that's a normal rhythm in the human physiology. And it's the same in rewiring habits, and it's the same in establishing new habits and new mindset.
And I
Yeah.
think we get so addicted to the rush because it's like that dopamine hit, right? And we're so quick with, like, all of a sudden we get traction and we get some success and then it just takes off. And then it might be stagnant for a little while, and that's normal. But we get so addicted
That's
to
right.
that rush and to the new things and all the growth that we feel that we start to, doubt ourselves. And it's like, no, that's normal. You're supposed to go like this. And so I encourage you, if you are going through, the highs and lows in your life, don't worry, because it's a season. Your body is going through different changes. And so eventually you'll continue to go back up and you will come down. It's physics. What goes up must come down. So you have to really appreciate the downs. Otherwise, you're just going to have a miserable life.
And you have no contrast, right? The downs give you contrast. I think for me, like, I really learned, and even in fitness, right? So coaching people in fitness, and seeing them come to the gym, 6 days, 7 days a week, and really helping them be very intentional about why they were there, why they were stepping away from their family, why they were investing the money, in their health and in supplements and all of these things. So it became much more part of who they were, as opposed to just, checking off a box to say, oh, I did that today. And also, with the highs and lows, I think the biggest thing is, a coach said to me one day, new level, new devil. So all of a sudden you're going to have new things that rise to the surface every time you're
Yeah.
ready to level up again. You're going to have those things are going to come up. So just be ahead of that and know what's coming. And make sure you have the right support and community around you, because get ready. Like, this is exactly what happens every time you step out of that comfort zone and you tell yourself, I'm taking my goal to the next level, because the goal is meant to grow. It's not meant to get, right?
Yes.
So that was a really big part that really, really has helped me. And then neutralizing my mind. So when you have those moments where you're like, oh my gosh, everything's working out, and look what I just did, and oh, I've got this, and I can take x number of weeks off. Neutralize the mind, come back, ground yourself, and then say, okay, this is beautiful, and now I'm ready for the next level, right? In a place of gratitude, compassion for yourself, and excitement. So that's really helped me.
Yeah.
And it's helped a lot of my clients. It's helped all my clients to really, really, kind of feel like, okay, this is normal. I'm going to feel this way, and feel grounded in knowing that they've got a practice to step into when that new devil comes back up.
Yeah. And the last thing I might mention is, don't be naive. Don't be naive in the terms of expecting it to be easy, because if you really have something to offer, if you really have something, which we all do, we all have something to offer. And I loved this analogy or this metaphor when someone told me a long time ago, was a burglar or a robber will not break into an empty home. So if you have some value or you have something to offer, expect there to be some resistance. Just like you said, as you level up, it gets harder. So you have to make sure you're leveling up your mind and leveling up your ability to handle resistance, because it will come. And if you can't get back up, it will knock you down.
Love it.
Yep.
Great. Beautifully said, Ariel. All right. We can talk about this for a long time, and we didn't even get into the actual tools and how to apply some of these techniques. Maybe that'll be a part 2 of this. As we wrap up here, though, first off, ladies, great conversation. Tracy, I want to go back to you real quick and just offer the community at large a first step they could take to strengthen their mindset when dealing with X.
Yeah. So, I would say, if you are someone that has been trying to achieve a goal for a long time, and it's just, you're running on repeat, you're in the hamster wheel, nothing seems to be really moving in the direction that you want to go. I want you to disassociate yourself from this outcome that you're expecting. So remove the outcome and get present. Get present with yourself, and, ask yourself, truly, why do I want this? Is it for someone else? Is it someone else's opinion? Has someone else influenced me to think I want this? Remove all of that and just ask yourself, why do I want this? That would be my first suggestion.
Remove the outcome. I love that. Ariel Jarvis, what do you got for our community out there? Mindset as it relates to the work you do. What can you offer someone out there?
Honestly, just keep working on personal development, keep working on those limiting beliefs, because it will impact your overall health, because what's going on up here completely affects the results of the entire body. And so getting everything back to homeostasis and reset often.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, there we got it. Disassociate from the outcome. Connect to the why. Keep the dream alive. Showing up. Positivity. Working. Self-growth is needed to be healthier, to change a condition, to get healthier, to have more vitality. Self-growth is a thing. So, and as we've all showcased today, it takes some work, and we can't shy away from the work. We have to do the work, connect with our truth, honor the why, as Tracy was saying, and stay in the game. All right, ladies. Thank you. Great conversation today. VitalityWellnessW.com for more information. Tracy, where can we direct people to you?
Yeah, absolutely. So new websites all coming, but right now they can email me at tracy@tracyleeliving.com, or they can find me on my page on Facebook under Tracy Lee. And I've got weekly free 30-minute workshops starting this Thursday every single week to the end of November.
Awesome.
Beautiful. All right. Thank you, ladies. Thank you, Vitality World, community at large. We love you, and we will see you next week for another conversation. All right. Bye everyone.